Because it never fails. Whenever I'm speaking, business, anything, I'm going to choke up at one point in time. I can guarantee it. Okay? And I know I'm short, so can everybody see me? Can everybody see me?
Yes.
Okay, so then with that said, good morning. I didn't realize I was going to be the first person addressing you this morning. So now I'm nervous, but I'm okay. Because Hal reminded me, you gotta be calm. So, and I got a chance to meet some of you this weekend, and I'm very grateful for that. Just don't hold it against me if I don't remember names. I will remember faces, but I met a lot of you as French has come around and Trevor, come meet this person. Trevor, come meet this person. So I met a lot of you. And I'm very grateful for the members of the past of the 957. Ooh, thank you, water. Thank you very much, sir. I'm very grateful of the members that I got to meet of the 957. For those of you that knew my father, that either served with him in the 957 or just met him, worked with him. Maybe you're a BHS graduate and you're one of the really young ones that I helped with math on the side of the janitor's part. Could you please stand up for me? I know two ladies at least back there better stand up. Okay, so thank you for both of you. And I want to say thank you to all your servicemen. It is because of all of you guys that I was able to drive here. I didn't have to stop at a checkpoint and be like, hey, here's my ID, here's my paper, I'm a U.S. citizen. You know, and Hal kind of mentioned that the other day. Is because of all you guys that were free to do what we want. And this is kind of where I've come in my life. Through my grief and tragedy, I've become more thankful. Some of you, maybe some of you have had this experience with myself. Because through my grief, I've become respectful and grateful and very, very thankful. And I was the most recent experience was me and my wife were in a grocery store. And I had all the groceries in the basket, and it was way down. I was just doing curls with it. And I handed it to my wife, and I said, I gotta go. There's a gentleman in uniform, and I was like, sir, thank you. Have a nice day. So if you ever see me running in the mall, grocery store or something, that's why. Okay, I'm on a mission. I beeline. Sometimes I have to come through the aisle. So that's where I'm at now. So I'm going to kind of do my absolute best to tell you how I got here. Okay? Because have we all had tragedy, lost a loved one, something bad happened, a check bounced or something? Have we all had something bad happen to us? Yes? Okay. Now the person next to you might have had something really, 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 really bad happen to them. Somebody else next to you, you might think it's really easy, but it might be horrible for them. And that's kind of another thing that I've learned to understand is you don't want to judge the other people next to you because you never know where they're at in life. So 8 years ago, I got the worst news for me. Sorry. I got the worst news for me. And mine's a little different. There was no knock on my door because I wasn't home. There was a knock on the door. I was at a school event because I was 16, 17. Age doesn't matter. I was young. Okay? And the news was that my father got killed in Iraq, which I was devastated. Like, I could have fell on the floor crying right there. I'm going to actually tell you exactly what happened. Like, so that is speech meet. A couple of gentlemen came to my stepmom's house and gave the news. Some other stuff happened. My stepsister found out. At that point, they said, we're going to go find Trevor. This is what I've been told, that they wanted to send in uniform. I'm very grateful for my sister. So if she hears this, see this, thank you. She came and got me and told me. Now, if you ever had to deliver bad news to anybody, thank you, and I understand it's an extremely hard job because to see what my sister was going through, I could tell she was something was wrong. Back in my mind, I was not thinking of my father. Because when my dad left, I knew what could happen. I knew that something horrible and horrific could happen. I knew it, but I ignored it. I'm like, okay, it's there. I've acknowledged this. If it happens, I'll deal with it. I'm going to really just hope everything comes back hunky-dory great. And it's probably going to hit somewhere in the middle. She came up and she goes, Dad's unit got attacked. And this was after, nobody told me what down. We went down one flight of stairs. She said, Dad's unit got attacked. So we're on a platform, there's another flight of stairs. Then I'm processing. We start walking on the next set of flight of stairs in my cooking. Maybe just lost a leg and an arm. They got prosthetics, they got cool things. Friend showed me a really cool one that had American flag all on it. I'm like, that was cool. So we start walking, and I'm like, you know what? It's okay. I got my dad. Now I'm getting weird. I'm walking down. I'm still okay. And we get to the end of the platform. And there's a wall right here. We're going to pretend you're a wall, okay? But not a literal wall, right? So I'm standing against the wall, and I'm just going to lean and I'm processing. And my sister goes, she almost grabbed me by the chest. And she needed to see the whites of my eyes. And she goes, no, Dad's even got attacked. He's dead. At that point, it processed, it clicked. It wasn't our Dad's gone. That's how I was told my father passed away in Iraq. So like I said, it was at a school event. It was a speech, my cousin's speech, which is weird because I've never said it. Have you been going through the whole time? Okay, let's go back. Now that I told you how it happened, I want to tell you about the man. This is a photo I just found the story about. I got a lot of photos of my dad. Like they all came back, and I'm like, okay, picture of dirt, picture of dirt, picture of dirt. Still, I don't get it. Does anybody else here have pictures of dirt from when they were deployed? All right, we got 2, 3. Okay. I want to talk to you guys afterwards about why, because we're like, what? So this one I actually just found the story about is this is how you guys lived, and a couple of my dad's friends actually had this photo taped up because they just hung out, and they just thought it was funny because they knew he was working all the time. Dad was not quite a workaholic, but he knew when the job needed to get done and he didn't stop how it was. So he passed out with work on his chest bit. Can you tell him that? Use the mic. Okay, next one. This is a fun one. This was family photos, and we're actually just, we were done with this little photo shoot, and all of a sudden I went, had my arm around my dad, I went, Dad, catch. But I took it off. I was a little heavier than what I expected. But yeah, so that's kind of the relationship that me and my dad had. So this is what I lost. And the last photo we'll get to. There's more there. This is another fun one. This is how I grieve. It's through the story. So if you got stories, my dad, for you gentlemen and ladies that stood up, if you got stories that some of you haven't told me yet, please come tell me. Because this is how I've got to where I'm at. Before I even heard the story of this photo, and I know I jumped around, I'll get back. Just stick with me. You guys good? Okay. If you ever knew my dad, he was probably kind of like, so we over here, and he's going to go do this, so we're just going to do this now. Because I want you to know the stories on what he keeps running through. This one, I burst out laughing because I know they're lost. They're like, okay, we're here. We're supposed to be over here. Base is back here. Yeah. And everybody, I put this photo on Facebook, my Facebook, and everybody comments, goes, oh, military doesn't have GPS. I'm like, no, you see the giant thing to the right of my dad's hand? I'm pretty sure that's a GPS. They got really good ones. They're just in the middle of a desert. Fun story about this, I was told that the commander goes, okay, we're lost. Get out of the truck. There's the map, there's GPS, find out where we're at. And I'm like, yeah, that kind of sounds like us. Dad, you like to take the scenic routes. And you like to take the scenic routes that led you through the bad part of town. I mean, granted, we were terrified when we went through LA, and we're like, we something horrible is going to happen here. This is not good for us. We cannot be here, Dad. We walk in the doors, and I'm like, yeah, you're letting me be your navigator in Iraq? Like French. Okay, so that one made us laugh. This one, we were just hanging out last summer. I love this one because when I was grieving, I was in college. This photo was always on my desk because I should have made this one the last one. Now I think of it, I just love that thumbs up. It's just kind of, you go, son. I'm proud of you. You're awesome. You're doing great. So throughout college, this was kind of my motivator of I want to become somebody that my dad's going to be proud of. Because the best tribute that I can pay to my father is become the best man that I can be that he taught me to become. That I can be somebody he's going to be proud of. And a lot of people that knew my father goes, your dad would be proud of you. I'm hoping so, because that's kind of my goal. I mean, if he would not be proud of you, we got to address some issues. So my plan in life, since my father died, has become, I want to be successful at what I do. I'm doing a fairly good job at that. And I want to be somebody he's going to be proud of. I want to be somebody that he instilled his values upon. And so this photo is a really good motivator for me on keep it up. Can we all do this? Okay. Now, you're all sitting next to somebody, right? Family, friend, loved one, somebody you get to play with. Look to them. Keep it up. You're doing good. This photo is hilarious for our family. That's his, at the time it was honorary niece. Obviously, you guys recognize that shirt. The uniform pants with it this was before the unit was getting ready to go over to Iraq when you guys were just getting all ready to put together. I shouldn't say you guys, because I realized there was only 4, 9, 5, 7 people stood up before the unit was going over. All right, this is his honorary niece. It's really, really funny because if you go back about 23 years, you'll see photos of another baby with him asleep in it. So it's really funny because there's photos of me just and he cared about family enough, and he didn't want to miss things, and that was a great thing on him that he taught me. Okay, next one, the last one. This is the man that I call Dad. Okay, for those of you, very few of you probably knew this one. You guys knew the military go, hey, no, that goes over here. What are you doing? Come on, let's get to work. Let's get to work. You got something. You need help? Okay, I'll help you. This was Dad. He was fun. We had squirt-gun fights. This was fun. So when I was told that my dad died, I missed out on it. There's no more thumbs up. So now back. Father passed away. Where am I going to go from here? What's next? How am I going to pick myself back up from this? If somebody's got a really good answer for that one, I want to know. Because I had no good answer at the time. So I was told on a Saturday. I cried a lot Saturday. Sunday was actually full of laughter. It was Sunday. Was it Sunday? No, he's just going to agree with whatever I could say. I could say the day that doesn't exist. But it was Sunday. Because we were one of the weird families. We had all the media over the day after. So it wasn't sobbing. That was our healing, our grieving. We told stories. Fun stories. Stories that we knew there weren't going to be any more, but we had these ones. We're going to hang on to them. So we're going to share them with more people. Because stories, if you ever hear the song Love Shack, turn it off. If there's people in the park, start to sing along with it. Because when we went on a 5,000-mile vacation, we started in North Dakota, went all the way down to California, and getting lost, and that's a good part of LA, and then coming back. It might have been more than 5,000. It was long. In a car that seated 5 people, and that's counting the middle seat. That was where my sister was, because she was the littlest one at the time. I was asleep in the corner like that. But when Love Shack came on, we all sang along. Love Shack is a love. I really hope they don't put that on the news. Now they're going to. So every time Love Shack comes on, no matter where I'm at, I don't care if you're in my car, if I'm in somebody else's car, I will reach over the seat and I will crank that and sing along. I crank it. It's a good song. But it just remembers what kind of fun-loving attitude my dad had. So with that, can grief, sadness, crying, anger. Everybody been angry over any type of loss or grief or anything? Yes? 2 people. Yeah, I was really angry. But I had nobody to be angry at. So of course, at the time, I had been angry at God. Dorian's not going to get religious. But if I was angry at God, I was like, why? Why did you do this to me? Why me? Is this really all about me? No. War isn't all about me. It's just really, really affecting me at this time. The other guy that was in the truck, T. Schmitty, with my father, he had family too. He's got a brother that some of you guys might know. There was more than just him. There was more before, there's been a lot more after. And my heart goes out to those families. But that's when I started going like, hey, this isn't a self-pity party on me anymore. I can pick myself up from this, and I can do something great and help people with these families. And so that was my choice. We kind of talked about choices this weekend. That was my choice. I'm going to choose to become a better man. I'm going to choose to not be sad anymore. I'm going to choose to become a person my father would be proud of. And just every step I choose to be a little stronger, a little stronger, a little stronger. But out of all that grief and tragedy, I learned to look at things differently. Like I said, I learned to be thankful. Which, by the way, a weekend when you put me in a room full of military people all day, I did go, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. But here's the key. Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am. Sir. Thank you, ma'am. Because these ladies and gentlemen that aren't wearing these fun colors and don't have the flag on the patch, they wear the flag in their heart. They're the backbone of the family. I learned to be grateful for them too. Because the families give up a huge sacrifice as well. We let our loved ones go fight for everybody else's freedom. And we know as family members that the worst might happen and may come. And we all are going to handle it a little differently. But I pray that you can handle it strongly and let you become a better person for it. No, I'm not saying there's like a, hey, fun, happy, bright side of grief and pain. No. That is not my message. Trust me, that is not my message. I'm just saying you can let it help you become a better person. If you take a chisel to wood, you can change the shape of the piece of wood, right? You can make a wonderful artist, and you can make an eagle out of flagpole in the talent. Okay? You can do some really, really cool things with just a chisel. Grief was my chisel. I already became I feel my father taught me to be a very good, respectful person, especially towards military people and just people in general. You know, I'm not going to judge this guy if he's having a bad day and being mean to me. I'm not going to judge him because I don't know what's going on. Maybe he just got a bad medical diagnosis in his family. Maybe his brother's unit just got deployed. You know, I don't know his story, so I'm not going to judge him on that. And that's another thing I learned is you don't know somebody's situation. So I went on going and being grateful and respecting the little things. You know, when people start to go, oh, I'm having a bad day. I'm like, so is that the definition of your day? I mean, so you stubbed your toe this morning, you spilled your coffee, okay? Your lid wasn't tight enough on your hot tea cup and it spilled all over your pants and you're going to a business meeting. It's 9 o'clock. You got the rest of the day. Agreed? I like involvement in the accounts. Jake, are you in here? Okay, do you recognize where that's taken, Jake? Okay. Jake used to work at the place that this was taken at, so in fact, he might have been working that day. But then also, this is also a reminder to me of have fun. Yeah, there's grief, but you know what? I've come a long way. My grief's back at that podium, and I'm not standing there because I hate podiums and not football, okay? My grief's way, 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 way back there. No, I'm not leaving that way. Okay, I'm just gonna make your next move and work a little bit, see who's texting. Okay? Put the iPad off the shoulder. The Facebook battery's taking notes. Oh no, that's cool. Yeah, I'm talking to this guy. He's looking at my biography thing in the little book. That's cool. I like technology, but he's talking. So my grief's way back there. I'm not going back there. It led me to where I'm at. Eventually going out that door. It's going to lead me through the rest of the day. It's going to lead me to be thankful to the next military member, to the next person. Okay? I'm not going to lie to you. There's a lot of things in my life that have happened that if my father wasn't killed in Iraq, what would have happened? Okay, my wife, I'm pretty sure I might not have ever met her. Okay, we went to high school together, by the way. This is my lovely wife. This is the lady that supports me and keeps me calm. Love you. I'll think of all. You're sitting next to somebody you love. Love you. I just won't kiss her because there's cameras. Later. I didn't hear many love yous, and I know you're sitting next to some family members. Take a second. Come on. Even if they're a friend, I don't care. French? French? Love you. She's helping me with a lot of my grief. Okay? Me and her, if you ever see us, we have a very nice friendship. Okay? And it's kind of funny because as I'm getting older, and I understand this man very, very, very well. Okay? There's a couple of photos that I didn't share with you today, but there's a couple. There's one where he's got this stance. It's like, why did you do that? And if you've ever seen that look, you know, and I laughed. Because I saw it, I was like, I know that look. I'm a son, I caught that one. And I have a feeling he might have given that look to Fred a couple times. Or that one might have been flipped around. I can believe that one too. But our relationship is a lot like theirs. But it's a little different. We're very close. Right? I wouldn't have that relationship with her if my dad didn't pass away. She is my go-to person. When I'm like, okay, why do I have pictures of dirt? Why? She's my go-to person. She wouldn't have been a go-to person. My dad being a go-to person. Dad, why did you take all these pictures of dirt? And we got gray dirt, we got black dirt, we got sand, and dirt. I get here in the desert, okay? There's so much of the stories that we miss. There's a gentleman, I can't remember who it was, I was at the General Bar years ago. And we're standing looking at a bridge that the 957 built. This is a story I never ever heard. My dad didn't want us to know bad things were happening over there. We just kind of knew. They got attacked with mortar fire. We actually almost we almost lost my dad that day. But he grabbed another sergeant and they just jumped behind the truck from what I was told. I was like, oh, I never heard that story. His dad, whenever he called, everything's okay. Like, yeah, it's bad over here. But I'm okay. I'm good. You know, this is what we're doing. We got a mission. Going here, going there. So the phone calls were important. Okay, they kept us going. They kept it. Those are the little things. And I treasure those things. I still have emails that my dad sent me from Iraq. And you know, I'll go over and reread them every now and then. The pass is back there. But it's going to lead me to become a greater person. I let grief become my shield. I let me become grateful. I met many, many people. How many of you knew T. Schmitty at all? Raise a hand. Okay. That was a gentleman that was in the truck with my father when they both passed away. Keith grew up near Minot. My cousins live in Minot. One of their friends was Keith's best friend that happened to go to NDSU when I started going there. He was on his way out. So me and him hung out a lot. because they're in the same kind of boat. We both had tragedy. She lost a best friend, I lost my dad. Yes, a little different. We can agree on that. But still, grief is grief. Yes? Grief is grief? You say head nods, but I'm not hearing a yes. Okay. Just making sure you're all grief is grief. But grief, how do we handle it though? He handled it very well. I was not in a good way. I was kind of jealous of him at the moment. Because he was like, all right, hey, let's go dance as an eldest. Let's go bar hopping, man. We're in college, okay? He goes, let's go do something. Let's go. And I was like, yeah, okay. Yeah, we'll have fun. Okay? So let's end him. And we're talking about that's why I learned to become thankful and grateful and always want to be proud and outstanding. So that's kind of my story of where I've gone. Yes, it was horrible with our place, but you know what? I didn't let it define me. If I crack open a dictionary or if I pull up an iPhone or iPad, you can pull up dictionary.com, right? But grief definition. There's not a picture of Trevor Hendrickson. Okay? It doesn't say losing your father in Iraq in 2004. No, that's not the definition. Is it? Because if it is, you got to talk to somebody to change it. But that's not. Right? I didn't have to let grief define me. I wasn't the embodiment. Everybody has grief. Some just handle it better than others. I'm going to tell you, if you ask me to give a speech for you, about 3 years ago, oh no. Not a good place. This is a journey. It is a constant journey to go from grief to grief. I'm not saying grief, but I'm just saying, I can't think of a better word. It's not like, okay, grief, I can talk about it. As an 8-year gap. And I'm okay with sharing my story. I'm okay with telling you exactly how I was told my dad died. And the only part I struggle with is if I talk to Hertz, right? Hertz, I go, I mean Hertz, and he goes, well, why are you so thankful about the military? He's asking me. I go, well, my dad got killed in Iraq. Either he's going to ask me what unit it was in, ask me his name, some other questions, but more often than not, he's going to say, I'm sorry. Thank you for being sorry. Lately, I've kind of thought about this. It's like, if you feel bad for me, please don't. Okay? I feel bad for those of you that didn't even stand. Not bad, but I'm sorry for you guys too, because you know what? You didn't get to meet him. You didn't get to see that. He was fun. He loved life. So for me to stay in that grief would be a disservice to my father. For me not to love my life. For me not to love my freedom. And when that change started to happen was, okay, if I'm going to love this, I have to be grateful for it. The only thing I'm still upset about. Now, has everybody been deployed? Yes? No? Okay, keep your hands up if you've been deployed. If you don't have kids, put your hands down. Not a lot of you. Okay. If you were, you can put them down. Not going to be an exercise, not going to be church, not going to make you stand up and down. Okay? The only thing I'm still just a little upset about was a Saturday morning Dad called. He's in Iraq. I'm in Bismarck, North Dakota. I was asleep. It was like 6 in the morning. You didn't tell my stepmom to wake me up. Have your wife, or whoever you're calling, kids, grandma, aunt, uncle, whoever, have them wake the kids up. They want to hear your voice. Because this is where it's going to get a little tight. You don't know when the last time's going to be. That phone call that he didn't wake me up on could have been the last one. That could have been the day, that could have been January 23rd. It wasn't, but it could have been. So that goes for you in uniform that aren't deployed. I don't like going to bed with my wife angry for this reason. I don't know if she's going to wake up. I don't know if I'm going to wake up. You never know what your last day is going to be, so be grateful for what you got today. Be grateful that you woke up this morning. Don't be mad that we lost an hour. Okay? I'm awake. And I'm speaking. And I hope I'm doing a good job. First off, so I was grateful my alarm went off, and that technology is so awesome that I couldn't set a clock for. I just did my phone because I do not trust hotel clocks. Have you guys ever went, okay, it's set, and then all of a sudden you wake up like 20 minutes late? It was 7 p.m. Who did that? It wasn't me. Because of course hotel clocks are about military time, so that's why it's all wrong, right? So you got to be grateful for the little things, but don't miss the big things. I mean, if somebody leaves your life, if they pass away, be grateful that they're part of your life. I'm very grateful I got to meet this man. I'm even more grateful that he was Jack. I'm grateful that he taught me to be respectful. Not just to the living and the military people, but everybody. I was like, if somebody's going to be mean to you, you just walk away. You're not going to bash them, just walk away. Let people walk away from it. One thing I don't think I really talked about to anybody, and I didn't mean anybody, was, yes, there was a time I was a teenager, okay? How many of you have teenagers? Have you ever heard, Mom, Dad, you're being so mean, I don't like you. No, I'm not trying to write on earlier this weekend's thing, but I said it. I might not have said it to him. And obviously never to the point where he wanted to shoot my laptop. He just would have used that M16 and not a handgun. He was a pretty good shot from what everybody tells me. Well, we all said it, but you know what? After he got to the point, that's when I realized, okay, Dad's not here. It gave me time to reflect and think. And that's when it clicked. Oh my gosh, Dad's right. Dad told me, hey, that person in your life, cut them out. They're a bad egg. Okay? I never got to talk to them afterwards, and that is one thing I'm still struggling with. Because yes, I still struggle. I still have my bad days. I still have my days when I go to work. I'm going to go cry. I have those days, don't get me wrong. I'm not all okay. Good person. I'm going to soon. You're going to talk to some people. Thanks to military members. That's not what I'm all about. Don't let this hour fool you. If you have questions about how it became this way, I will open it up in a minute. Okay? There's some books that I've read, there's some things I've listened to, there's some people I've met. I will open up for questions. So I'm getting another quote, and this is a quote that I found through some business research. It's a Jim Rohn quote, and I love Jim Rohn. Has anybody ever heard of him before? Oh, okay. I see a couple hands out like that. Check them out. For those of you that heard this, you might have actually heard this quote. It's not what happens. What happens to everyone. It's what you do about it. So we can all agree that there are other people that have their fathers that were killed in any kind of conflict. We can agree on that. Happens to thousands of people. What do they do with it? Are they letting their grief become their chisel and help them become a more open person, more thankful, more grateful? If they're not, that's okay. Maybe they're just not ready for it. It's time. Okay? It takes a long time to get to where I'm at. I've had some people help speed it up. I've done some reading to help speed it up. Now, please ask a question. I'm going to open this up to questions. If you have anything, raise your hand. Raise it high. Stand up if you have to. Okay? If you just want to hug, hey, you just come over and give me a hug. All right? So I'm going to open it up to questions. Because I went on, I feel, almost about long enough. I will actually wait here until I get a question. Don't make me do it. There's got to be one.
I'll ask you one. Have you done this presentation quite a few times, and do you find the speaking about it to be somewhat therapeutic, or is it difficult to speak about?
Okay. Question was, have I done this before? And do I find this therapeutic? Sounds like question? or do I find it hard? What was the last part?
Is it difficult?
Is it difficult? Well, number one fear is public speaking and then death, right? We learned that this weekend, okay? So is it difficult, that part? Yeah. Is it difficult to say, hey, Trevor, we're going to pack a room full of a bunch of military members and their family, and we want you to talk to them because I'd like to, Rob, can you stand up for a minute, please? I'm going to put the spotlight on you for a minute. Mr. Keller here. Thank you, my friend. This is one of my friends. I never would have met this guy if my dad never passed away. He was one of the first guys that pulled up. Okay? So he's seen me go from, oh my God, what am I going to do? I don't know what to do. I gotta go. To now. Thank you. So, it's hard with how do you convey a message of that took 8 years. And at first, I didn't think it was going to take a whole hour. Wow. Because I saw that they put an hour, and I'm like, okay, they put an hour, and they put this little word called keynote. It just becomes stressful. Therapeutic, God. But it's therapeutic to me because I get to introduce more of that man, not the uniform man to you guys. But then also, I like helping people. And I like to go, hey, if there's something bad going on in your life, let's sit down. Let's sit down and let's talk about it. Okay? I'm not a social worker, but I've went through some things where I might be able to suggest some tool. And just sometimes somebody needs somebody to vent. So this is kind of me venting in a weird sort of way. And I've kind of only given this one. This is two. If I get a third time, I'll accept that. If somebody asks me to speak, unless there's like something huge going on, I rearrange my weekend to be there. I choose to be. If somebody wants to hear my story, I choose to be there. So I make it happen. I gave a speech at the 10th anniversary of the 9/11 ceremony. It was kind of the same thing about from grief to from how the tragedy, can come. You can learn things from it. It might be very, very hard pill to swallow, because trust me, it is. And it's very hard. It's weird to me to say this. I feel like I'm lying to myself. It's like, okay, from grief I learned something. Well, I learned something from grief. You're supposed to be grief and sorrow and sadness and pain and darkness. So I kind of gave it one thing, and that's kind of what gets started. And Rob just goes, you got a great message, and people need to hear it. People need to hear how you feel. Okay, because I'm sure some of you have grief. It might not be as bad as mine, but it might be for you. Okay? Your kid breaking their leg might be the equivalent, that might be all you can handle. I wasn't quite ready to handle my father's death, but this is kind of how I feel. Okay? Does that answer your question?
It does, thank you.
Okay.
Trevor, can you share your experience with TAP?
My experience with TAP, good, thank you. I knew somebody over there was going to ask that question. Was that yours, Christy? Or you got another stuff? Okay. All right. Well, that's nice of you, because he's actually not on. He just came down just for me. Like military, they go, hey, you're going to Trevor's speech. He goes, no, I'm going to Trevor's speech. So thank you for coming here. Thank you for asking that wonderful question. So with that, who's familiar with TAPS? That hand can go up higher than the lady. Okay. So TAP stands for Tragedy Assistance Program for Survivors. I am a survivor, right? Okay. We went through tragedy. We need assistance. There's a program for survivors. Okay? I pray that you guys never have to go on the same way that I've gone. Okay? I would really much rather you not have to go there because you've been through tragedy. Trust me. It is a family of people in my situation. There are sons, daughters, kids, really little kids. Like as little as that guy that got to bring them on. Now that guy right there. Okay? There are kids his age that never, they might have never met dad. Dad might have been deployed the whole time, or mom might have been deployed back to back. So TAPS is a group of, we're going to sit down and we're going to go, hey, tell me about your children. Okay? Is tell me a story. Tell me what you remember. Tell me a story that made you laugh. My favorite is, my first car was a 93 blue Geo Metro clutch. That's not the first that makes me laugh. I love that car. Great gas mileage. I'd love one right now. But it was a clutch. When you're young, I never drew clutch because I was a city boy. I never lived on a farm. So Dad teach me how to get clutch. What's Dad getting whiplash? Well, wait, what's in the clutch? It's a story that makes me laugh. I feel bad now that I get my dad whiplash. You know, little itty bitty car that's 3 cylinders. But it's a story that makes me laugh. Laughter is a really good medicine. And some of the workshops had taps. Or tell me a story that made you laugh. Or tell me a story that made you laugh about your deployment. Okay? If it's something you're grieving with, there's something that can help you. And it is the closest family you will ever be here. I should actually have asked this first. Is there any other families of the fallen in here? Other than mine? Oh, they're going to be grieved later. They missed out. But they know. But that family, I was like, Schmitty's brother, he's like my brother. I walk in and go, hey, how are the kids? I go, yes, I'm picking on you because you picked the edge. Bad thing to do with me. Okay, do you want me to pick on somebody else? All right, good. You know, so somebody else, how you doing? You know, I'll go to another family member. Like, so what's new? How's the daughter doing in college? You know, you might be too young to have a daughter in college, but we'll just go with it, okay? I don't know all you personally, but it's a family. I mean, it is a family. And we say this to each other. It is a family. It is the greatest family to be a part of when you are grieving and tragedy. It is the worst admission. It is the worst family to get to become of. But if you are in that group, that's who you want to be with. And that's what TAPS is about. It is thousands of family members that's not family. It's your brother from another mother. Yes, no, please. I feel bad when I try to make a joke and nobody laughs. I'm like, oh, that was dumb. It's on videotape on 3 different cameras. I'm like, yeah. So that, answer your question, kind of explain TAPS to everybody. If you got questions on TAPS, please let me know. I always thought it was interesting that we named such a wonderful organization off of a song that makes everybody in that group cry. Like 3 seconds in, we're all. But you know what though? It's almost kind of a flashback because we all heard that song on our worst day. I heard that song early February-ish. And yeah, it made me cry before, but now I bawl. You follow up with 21 gun salute, which by the way, somebody can explain 21 gun salute to me. That's something that nobody knows. Like, why 21? Just talk to me afterwards. That's my question to you, because you're the person that would know. Or can give me the paperwork that says so. But that's kind of, I found it interesting when I first went to TAPS. I've gone a couple of years. My second year was my best year. And it wasn't so much an organization, it was once again the family. And French are going to pick on you. Good thing, that's right. I attribute a lot of who I've become and how we really kind of went, okay, you're sad? Stop it. To French. But I think she kind of did it in a way in honor of my father, because she knew that I was better than where I was. I had questions. If you work with the fallen, or if you know an answer to something, if you have a story of my dad and you haven't told me to it, you better be front and center pretty darn quick. Because you know what? Without those stories, a mind starts filling in the gaps. And I can guarantee you, whatever my mind fills in the gap is extremely worse and more horrifying than what it actually is. That's where I was my second year in TAPS. But then they decided we should probably send Davina French. She should go to TAPS and she's going to work with families. And thank you God, whoever did it. Because I just grabbed her and went, I'm not going to do it. I need a female soldier. I should just pick on French. You know what? I'm just going to do that. She's mad at me right now. And this is kind of partially her fault because she was this wonderful person that said, hey, let's do mine. Because I like walking around and I talk. But if you gave me that thing, it would have been like, okay, so here's my speech today. It would have been like a shake weight. Hey, listen. So you want to stand up or are you going to sit down? Okay, here, I'll relax you. Okay, there we go. Okay, see, I only give people massages that I love. Okay? All right. So I pretty much went, what happened? Tell me what happened. Did my dad suffer? No. Was it quick? Was it boom? It wasn't all of a sudden he's driving. I took all day. Everything turned white and good. Oh. No. Okay? That was my questions. And that gap there, we're not going to get into it. I filled it in with the wrong stuff. What she told me was a lot less worse than what. Right? I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for you, pretty young lady. Never. Not quite my dad. Come on. So the connections that you make, okay, at TAC, they can change your life. And that one, I walked out a stronger man. The next year, I actually didn't go because I felt somebody else needed to go. We lost a lot more soldiers. Because about when my dad passed away, there was 12, from what I remember. But Mom, you can correct me. It's okay. I'm not going to be offended. Okay? I mean, I don't want to give disrespect to that family. So if there was more at the time when my dad died and I was at passed, I want them to be respected. But there's been a lot more since I've got to meet them. And I've seen them go from I go, I was there. There come along. No, okay. So that's what TAP does. It really helps with dreaming and stuff. Probably got time for 2 more questions, but I got to make them shorter answers. Come on, one more.
You said there are people who helped you through your grief. Can you name one specific?
I mean, other than French?
Pardon?
Other than French there?
Yeah. What's a real significant event that helped you do it?
A real significant event? Okay, the event that really kind of, outside of that event there, of her filling in the gaps that made me, I can deal with that. The real significant event is kind of a weird one. Okay? Sorry. Oh, she's proud on her life story. How many of you are married? Okay? How many of you have been or ever thought of marriage? If you're married, you should probably raise your hand, okay? Ryan, you can raise your hand too. Okay? If you've thought of marriage, Ryan's one of my really good friends. So but he's only seen this Trevor. Yeah, I like to think about people because it takes the spotlight off of me. Don't worry, I can tell him not to put you on the news, okay? If there's no cameras on. All right? He didn't see me through the grief and turmoil. Okay? My wife's seen me through more grief and turmoil than most of my friends, except for the key spread. Okay? Which, just out of respect to him, I'm not going to name him because he's not here for me to pick on. I told him to be here. I'm just shocked he isn't. If he was here today, I should probably say something right now. Okay, the biggest event was me and my wife, we had some trouble, okay, in a marriage. It happens, right? And she discovered that it was because I was really still angry. I really didn't know why I was angry. Okay, wait a minute, light bulb went off. Okay? I had a short temper, but I was still upset that my dad wasn't around, that I don't have anyone married. And she repeatedly, okay, husbands, this way, something like, you should go talk to somebody. You need to get some help. You need to get this under control. My blank, like, you need to get blank under control. Whatever it is, mine was anger. Okay? It was hard on us, right? So you're not liking this, are you? There. That's all right. I got the mic. Like wedding singer, I got the mic and we're listening to everything I have to say. Because right now I'm already over the hour and we're off. Anyways. So we got some help, and I started getting some anger help. But then for now, I read a book. I'm going to go pick up it because I want her to listen to this. Hi. What's your name, by the way? Bonnie? I actually talked to Bonnie earlier because all the cameras were set up over here in their way, and I want to make sure that they can see. They be grateful and thankful and help others out. So my wife's grandma read a book. And I will name the book, don't worry, I will name this. If you want to buy it, that's up to you. She read a book. And and her family did pass down books, just like, hey, read this, hey, read this, hey, read this, hey, read this, which is cool. So I ever read the book. And that's what she does. I have the video games. She goes, well, what are you doing in this video game? Well, I'm jumping over here. I gotta go find this guy and find this man. Okay. I just love that she's interested in what I have a hobby in. But I'd like to hear what she's reading about. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a slow reader. Books on tape is my key. So she tells me about this book. I go, what are you reading about? Tell me about this book. Well, she told me about this book, and she gets done with it. And this book is about tragedy and grief. A guy's daughter gets kidnapped and killed by a serial killer. And then he ends up spending the weekend with God and But I still didn't read it. I was like, no, I'm not going to read it. Well, then we had our trouble times, and I started talking to military counselor and just kind of helped me read. And I didn't get. This lady helped me out more than she will ever know. And I know she's in Hawaii now, and I just want to fly there and go, thank you so much. End of first sentence. So she is just getting to know me, getting to know my story. Okay, about how my dad died and what I'm going through in life, because life sucks sometimes. She leaves, and she goes, Trevor? You're Trevor. I'm her. I gotta grow my hair out. Okay. Have you ever read the book The Shack by William Miller? Yeah, good. You're good at it. No. My heart stopped for a second. I was like, are you kidding me? Okay, one person, because even Grandma said that, Trevor, you should read this book. It would really help you. Amber, you should really read this book. It would really help you. Some lady that just met me that day. Have you ever read this book? I think it would really help you. I'm a firm believer that things will show up in your life that they show up when you need it. So funny, right? If you're having tragedy and grief, this book might help you. I don't know your story. Have you read it? That was a book that changed my outlook. That was, and my wife didn't know this up until maybe a month ago. That book I felt really changed my life. The Shack by William P. Young. If you read it, and you're kind of like, maybe it didn't do something for me, go back and read it again. Listen to it on tape. It's really good too. But the story of it, that it just taught me to be okay with grief. Does that help, Bonnie? I feel that answered your question. Okay, any other quick questions? I was kind of hoping somebody actually asked that one. Okay, I got to wrap it up. So nobody told me who to turn this over to. So I'm done. If you guys want to talk to me more one-on-one personal, please, I'll be here. I think I have a bunch of news crews that want to do interviews, so I think I might just go knock that out now. Is that okay, Ms. Manager? Or should we just stick around more? Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Trevor, for sharing that story and that journey. There were so many messages and so many lines and events and examples and that you gave us. And it comes back to us all being family and how when we sit in the